Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Q&A, and this one's gonna be a continuation of the last Q&A that we did. I answered a lot over on YouTube to the point that my voice started cracking towards the back end of it, so we're gonna go back and do the Q&As for the people on YouTube after we do the patrons. One of the benefits that patrons get is that when we get Q&As and community responses, etc., all the patrons that post get to go first. So we're going to start over here on Patreon, and then we are going to look at what you guys have to say over on YouTube from the previous ones. So as usual with the Q&As, nothing's off limits. It's very rarely I don't answer something. You know, obviously I won't answer something that will get me doxxed or something like that. But let's see what we got here. Faded Light Fighter says, holy, okay. What's up, my guy? I hope life has been treating you well. For my first question, if you could live anywhere in the Naruto universe, where would you stay? Ooh, that's a good question. I would stay in the Hidden Mist Village. Not even gonna lie to you. I would stay in the Hidden Mist Village. The current Hidden Mist Village. I couldn't be there like during Yagura's time. But you know, you put me out there like with, you know, the water, you know, I could do that. I could do that. You know, with Konoha would get too hot. Just looking at the geography there, it would get too hot. So yeah, just put me in the Hidden Mist Village. So, oh, that's, I almost said something sexual, man. Because I was thinking about the teeth. And I like, if you know, you know. I'm not even gonna go any further there. Let's tell you where my mind was at. So let me back up. Let me back up. I would be in the Hidden Mist Village. I would be there. 2, if there was a shinobi type military just like in the anime, would you join it? No, I wouldn't. And that's no disrespect to anybody that's in the military and that's your thing. I 120% support you. I got family military. Hell, my brother-in-law's in the military right now. Like, I've been on base and I've seen some people wear some of the merchandising, etc. So, you know, like, it's one of those things, like, I know that there are people that support me that are in the military, and I value all the sacrifices that you make. I've talked to some of you guys in emails where you're like, you know, I'm getting ready to go on deployment and your videos really help me out, etc. The military just wouldn't be my thing. I don't think that I would make it. And even in the Naruto universe, I would not make it. I would not make it. Just based off my personality, I wouldn't make it. All right, let's see. I also want to say you make excellent content, even though I can't see the quality of my videos because of my blindness, but regardless, I still enjoy listening. Damn. You know what, fam? I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. That makes me taking all the time to script stuff, and I've been playing with the way I script things and trying to take Anime Balls Deep's advice to work on my hooks, and I've seen it with the retention and using the template that I got from, I want to say it was Sid or a deal. I got a template from one of them. Like, I appreciate you. It took me out of it, man. Had me all kinds of shook up. Let's see. Bright says, so when's the My Dress Up? Man, this was a minute ago. Yeah, Bright is a fellow romance shonen fan like myself, or romance manga fan such as myself. So that one's up. That one's up on Anime Explain. Big time love that. Big time love working on that one. Also, Vivi is Queen, not a blasphemy, motherfucker. And Robin, you know where she belongs. Yeah, down in the streets. P.S. Cowboys, can I ban you? It's not respect. Oh, you asking for it. Nami disrespect and Cowboys praise. For those of you guys who have not picked up on it, I am a diehard New York Giants fan. So every Sunday and Thursday, Saturday, whenever the Giants play, if I get the feeling that the Giants are losing, I'm about to crash out on the YouTube comments and especially on Twitter. Yeah, that's like the quick, yeah. We're just gonna leave it at that, yeah. Giants about to make me break my sobriety streak. Snap says, how's life been going, man? What's your journey? What was your journey before you became a YouTuber, if that's okay to share? Man. Yeah, I've talked about this before. Ironically, before even recording this, like, I talked about the fact that, like, it was Valkyrie. her fine ass had said something in a video where she was just like, she's glad that she worked at GameStop because it humbled her and made her appreciate all the content creation, the doors and stuff, where she was able to kind of open up because of it. And I said that she's right. And the reason why I said that she's right is because I remember working at Target, hating it, loving the people I worked with, but absolutely hating it, missing holidays, working 14, 15-hour shifts, working at Target, etc., being forced to cut overtime because I was working in a store where they refused to pay overtime. I remember doing like security work at parties and working parties, and my hearing is a little messed up because of it. I remember serving tables. I remember cleaning toilets and cleaning up after weddings and etc. Like I remember I did this one, oh man, this was like 2013. These people left food all over the tables. Like they literally just picked up the trays and food and etc. and dumped it all over the tables, on the floors, in the bathroom upstairs. I don't know how they got footprints on the side of the walls. It was nasty. And that was one of those times I was so pissed off having to clean. It took me 6 hours to clean up the mess that was made. Like, I will never be one of those content creators. I'm not going to say the name. I got one in particular, but I will never be one of those content creators who gets drunk off of their clout, gets drunk off of just being able to do anything that I do and etc. Because at the end of the day, this shit can go away at any moment. This can go away at any moment. Your audience can move on. When you're super niche down like this, there will come a time where there will be some people that, I just don't like Boruto anymore. I've grown up. I've gone on to other stuff. Now, thankfully, most of my audience is roughly around my age, but you should never take any of this for granted. And with a few content creators that I used to be fans of that I would watch and just to see how they talk down to the audience, and some of them have moved to streaming and they're like, I refuse to answer any questions unless you donate. Like, who are you? Who are you? Like, a donation is a gift. Somebody taking time to comment on your video is a gift. I don't respond to every comment because when I did that with YouTube, I literally lost the channel because I responded to 2,000 or 3,000 comments in one day. I literally just took a whole day off and didn't do anything but respond to comments. And they said it had to have been a bot. So, nah, I say that to say you're blessed, but at the same time, you know, there's this misconception that you don't, like, as a content creator, you're not working, or you're only working 2 to 4 hours a day. That's absolute bullshit. Like, as a content creator, as a solo creator at that, like, you're doing your own audio, your own video production, your own script writing, which I script all my videos verbatim. Everything you hear me say in a scripted video came from my brain onto the script. Nothing else is used. Research, video editing, search engine optimization work, clerical work, that being bookkeeping, emails, invoices, etc. Platform management, because you're on multiple social media stuff. Lighting. I used to hate doing lighting when I was on camera. I hated dealing with set design because you had to put stuff up in the background for the set and etc. And graphic design, motion, etc. I mean, you wear an easy 13 hats when you do the content creation stuff. Like, only 5% of all YouTube channels on YouTube are in the YouTube Partner Program. Only less than 90% of channels have over 10,000 subscribers. Less than, or excuse me, 90% of videos, this is another stat, 90% of videos on YouTube don't hit 1,000 views. Less than 0.77% of videos hit 100,000 views, or 0.77% of videos hit 100,000 views. Like, that's like the reality. But like, before YouTube, I mean, I worked a lot of different jobs, and the only reason why I started making content is like, I was laying there and I had a busted leg and I was looking around and nobody was making the type of Naruto content that I wanted to see. So like back at the time, I saw nobody was doing Naruto what ifs. Nobody was talking about the stuff that happened after Naruto Shippuden. Nobody was really talking about Boruto. And even when I started talking about Boruto, it still wasn't that many. I started doing Boruto in 2018. I would talk on it here or there. I dropped the anime after 4 episodes, but like that's what led to me wanting to do YouTube. Is like I just saw a void, and I just said I can't be the only one who wants to see stuff like this. So I hope that answers your question, man. What's the other one? Do you think Studio Pierro is going to animate Two Blue Vortex? Yeah. So the Naruto rights will stay with Studio Pierro. You have to go a extremely long time before the rights for anything in the Naruto anime IP does not get picked up by Studio Pierro because how those contracts are set up. Same thing with stuff airing on TV Tokyo. It will always be Studio Pierro. So it won't be another production. And I'll say it, I've said it before, but there are extremely talented people at Pierro who worked on Boruto. Boruto's problem was, especially after the Ishiki stuff, the schedule was a nightmare. Even by weekly anime standards, the schedule was a nightmare. The anime director literally stepped down and took a lesser role so that he could take on more work to try to salvage the production of the Code Arc and the stuff before that because of how bad the schedule was. You've had Boruto animators who have worked on Bleach's anime, who have worked on Spy Family's anime, Demon Slayer's last movie, the Demon Slayer anime, and the last few seasons that have been out since Boruto ended. The talent has always been there. It just comes down to, do you have a healthy schedule or not? And that is not something that Studio Pierro gets to decide. That is directly because of the production committee. Look no further than One Punch Man. They had a very bad schedule that is a seasonal anime, and it's because of the production committee. And even the animators themselves are coming out and saying corrections that they made were not put in the final TV version. It's the same thing that happened with Boruto. There are animators that shared their full cuts, and the full cuts were more fluid, but they did not make the TV version. And the reason why they would not make the TV version is when it gets to second key animation phase, they didn't have enough time in the second key animation phase to sit there and keep every small detail, so things ended up getting cut out. I hate when people bash on animators. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but I hate when people bash on animators for that reason, because there's a lot that goes into it that people do not understand and respect. I think if the production committee gives Studio Pierro a healthy schedule, that Two Blue Vortex can absolutely cook, especially with how action heavy it is. If they just stick to the manga and flesh out a few things here or there where needed, if they have a healthy schedule, Boruto's anime, the next anime, can change the perception of the franchise, because a lot of what you see comes mostly because people are more familiar with the anime than the manga, and I think that's a crying shame. Tommy Bunny Breath, that's a good question. I saw that, but I'm gonna get to that in a second. Sovereign Ninja says, yo, what's good, bro? Do you put pineapples on your pizza? Fuck no. I've had it though. I don't mind it. It's got like a little tang to it, but it's not my first choice. I will not put bananas on there. That is a war criminal. So my real question is, who do you think's gonna win the fight between Kakuzu and Sarada steamrolls Kakuzu. I'm gonna pretend that you were joking with that one. Sarada steamrolls. She don't even need Mangekyo Sharingan. Let's see. Tommy Bunny Bread. Who's your favorite Sailor Moon villain? Favorite Sailor Moon villain was Galaxia. Easily. That last arc, easily. And the reason why Tommy's asking that is, like, I think it was Tommy and it was Bright. We were talking the Patreon Discord server, and I want to say it was Bright that I was able to get onto Sailor Moon Crystal, because they're only familiar with the 90s dub, which was atrocious. But yeah, Sailor Moon Crystal, mostly faithful to the manga, as a huge fan of that series. I don't have that many complaints about it. Let's see. Jervis Johnson says, or Gervais Johnson. If I said your name wrong, I apologize, fam. I wish that in the past there would be dedicated channels, YouTube, talking about the production, sales, and analytical side of the anime manga industry. Are you in the Patreon server? If you're not in the Patreon server, there should be a link. I'll double check and see if I sent you a invite link in the Patreon messenger. But I can give you some channels that do a good job at talking about the industry and some of the nuances. Like if you want to learn more about production committees, etc., there are channels that I don't think that they fully dive into it. They talk about other stuff, but there's a lot of educational videos on some of the channels I can recommend, though. Let's see. Unless I'm mistaken, I can't think anyone's dedicated primarily to that aspect of the industry. If so, why do you think that is? So yeah, there are some channels that do break some of that stuff down. I think part of the reason why is, unfortunately, I don't think that people care too much about the nuances and the inner workings. I really don't. I think people just want to talk about their anime manga and be fed an echo chamber. And I think that's sad, because I think that when you understand the politics and etc. behind a lot of stuff, you look at a lot of your favorite series in a different light. Let's see. Yeah, big shouts out to you, fam, too. Hunter Davis says, what are you looking forward to happening most in the next arc? So the next arc would be this arc. It's got to be Damon getting his ass whooped, hands down. I need to see Damon get his ass whooped. And Hunter, I'm pretty sure I just sent you a invite on Patreon, because in the Patreon messenger with access to Discord, because I don't know why, but if you join as a paid member, you should get an automatic invite into the server. But like for the last few times, I've been having to give people the invite manually. So I'm going to double check, and I have not sent it to you. Make sure you check there. And I got you, fam. But that's going to be the Patreon side. So what we'll do now is we'll jump over to YouTube and we'll look at what you guys have to say on YouTube. Monica B204 says, I know I'm not your normal demographic, but I truly enjoy your content. It is well researched and brings so much depth with Buddhism, legends, and lore. Congrats on your newest milestone. Well done. I appreciate you, Monica. And let me see. I responded. I think I know what I said to you. Yeah, here it is. Like I said, gotta answer this now. I'm gonna answer this now because I see you on both of my primary channels. The One Piece channel is not quite a primary channel yet. Like with the Chainsaw Man video. Thank you for your support. You are correct. The demographic on Naruto Explained is only 10% female, but on Anime Explained, it is 40% female. So on that channel, you are part of the target demo, which that blows my mind. 40% on the Anime Explained channel, but it makes sense though. Don, ironically, Chainsaw Man and Fairy Tail and Spy Family have huge female fan bases, but like here on Naruto Explained, like the female commenters, they stand out because it's not that many of them. But at the same time, like 450,000, that's like what, 45,000 female subscribers that like Naruto and Boruto. That's kind of crazy. But like that's part of why like I have tried to kind of tone down some of the dirty jokes. There are times where, because I've told so many of them that you guys like, oh, you're being dirty here, and I'm like, no, I was trying to be sincere, but I can see how it's interpreted that way. But like, that's part of why I kind of toned it down, because I am, especially on the other channel, trying to appeal more towards female viewers. And here on Naruto, it's not as many, but I know there's an untapped female audience for Naruto content. So I'm trying to be mindful of that. So like when I see somebody like a Monica comment, it is a good measuring stick. It's a really good measuring stick for me. And it's just another reminder for me to be mindful of the type of stuff I'm saying, because I'll get out of pocket very quickly. That's why I don't live stream. Let's see. Keto2034 says, Dang, cool to see. Been here a while, at least since the What If Fugaku's 4th Hokage. That was a good one. And I got commission art done for that one too. You know, like that's been used by like 9 million channels since now, but like it's Catch 22 commission art. And What If Madara Never Turned Evil being the first ones made. Ooh, man, that What If Madara Never Turned Evil was one of my favorite edited videos. That one was done by I can say his name because he doesn't edit anime content anymore, but like there was a guy named Kane who did that one, and he has a job now working like with the actual film company, so I can't afford his edits, but like I love working with him, man. Like very, very good stuff, like from photoshopping different things on the anime clips. Like he did the Hokage Legacy videos. Like, oh man, like I miss working with him, man. That was one of my favorite editors right there, and that's one of my favorite videos. I think that one's like at 150,000 views now. Like I was really hoping that one break 1 million. That was like the personal goal I had for that one. That's one of my favorite what ifs. Microphone quality could have been better. Let's see. Thank you for the content. That's a long time too. That's like 2019 or 2020. I thank you for the content over the years, especially explaining Naruto lore. But I gotta ask, what are your favorite fanfics or AU of Naruto, being someone who's been on this show and series? I assume you've read one before. If not, understandable. Yes, there are two that come to my mind right away. This was like on fanfic.net. I don't know if it's even up anymore, but there were two I thought were very well written. And these are done when Naruto was still a weekly series, and so they went completely off the rails, and it's not accurate how the manga actually ended. But one was The Curse of the Namikaze, which was a Naruto fanfic, which was so good. This was so good, man. It had Naruto doing some crazy stuff. Like for the war, it had him using wind release and making these giant tornadoes and like wrapping fire release and chocolate. That was so cool. And then the other one was an Itachi fanfic where it was called The Last Survivor. And it was because Itachi, because back then we didn't know Itachi's lover's name. He had a lover that he did not kill. She survived. And the story built on that. Those are two of my favorites. Like, I love Curse of Namikaze so much, and it was in the process of being written. I loved it so much. I was in school at the time. I used my credits because we had a printing card, and I got in trouble for it. I printed out the chapters. I printed out the chapters and put them in a sleeve and put them in a binder. That way I could read it when I would go on the road and stuff. So it's like, oh man, yo, you just took me back, man. You took me back, man. Thank you for that. Let's see. Other question. Would be, how have you been personally? While we see you as a voice and a very knowledgeable guy, I remember a few years back, a really bad year with a few deaths right after COVID. So I want to check how you feel. Man, that was a dark period, man, because like Helmy and Ashley died in 2018. 2019 started to get over that. 2020 COVID happened, lost people. 2021 lost one of them was an overdose. 2021 lost my aunt. 2022 lost my uncle. Lost my grandmom a few months after that. 2023 lost my godmom. Like, let's see, 2023 or 2024. No, it was 2023 because 2024 was a year after the fact. So it's like, yeah, body blows. But like, man, I'm in a good space now, man. I'm in a good space now. It's just one of those things, like doing content and engagement with you guys really helps, man. I appreciate that. You know, nobody asked that question a lot, so I appreciate that. Makes me feel better, all warm and bubbly on the inside. All right, let's see. Bresco Meeps says, let's see, your favorite female character in the Konoha 13. What's your opinion on Jiraiya? Do you think female characters were wasted in Naruto? What character do you hate the most? I don't particularly hate any Naruto character. Like, I meme characters, but I don't particularly hate any Naruto character. If it was favorite female character in Naruto, I could say Tsunade. Favorite female character in the Konoha 13. Damn. This is ugh. Because I meme Tintin, so you would think it's Tintin, but it isn't. Pistol to my head, I would say it's between either Ino or Sakura, one of those two. It's between those two characters, but I don't hate any one Naruto character. I hate some of the character types, but I don't hate any Naruto character. My opinion on Jiraiya was funny. Jiraiya was funny. Like, Jiraiya now would get canceled. Especially like when he was making Naruto transform into a sexy jutsu in the manga. You see nipples and butt cheeks and etc. Jiraiya would get canceled now. Like, people are too soft to handle that. Like, when I'm seeing people say Mineta is the biggest perv, I'm like, you guys have no idea. Like, Jiraiya, super perv. Which, fun fact, the way that Jiraiya was originally met by Kishimoto is every time he got super animated, he was supposed to transform into a warped version of himself, worse than what you see with Sage Mode. And that would include when he got horny and etc. That's in the 15 things you didn't know about Jiraiya video, which it should be titled The Truth About Jiraiya You Don't Know, if you want to see more from the source material on that. Do I think female characters in Naruto are wasted? Yes and no. I feel like, and some of it comes down to Kishimoto's own admission. He was not good at writing female characters. That's almost a video in of itself. In particular, he was not good at expressing the emotions. Like, Tsunade was well written, Lady Chiyo was well written, but when you kind of look at how they're written from a dialogue standpoint, they're not truly written like how you would have women written in manga, especially by mangaka that are either women or truly know how to express how women truly talk. Some of the dialogue was very straightforward and punchy, and a majority of women don't talk like that. Like the way that you had Sarda, where people are saying she's in the Yap Fest and everything, where she was talking to Ryu and she's talking through her feelings, and she's talking through her feelings when she's talking to Sumire, and it's not just I like Boruto, but instead it's around the bush. That's how a lot of women, and especially teenage girls, talk, but a lot of women talk like that. You have to kind of, instead of saying I'm in a bad mood, they will talk about other things that are getting on their nerves that isn't truly related to why they're in a bad mood. Like Marin and My Dress Up Darling is a good example. Like when she's talking to Gojo, she starts to say what her deal breaker is when it comes to being involved with somebody. And this is like around chapter 30 or so. And instead of just saying what the deal breaker is, she talks around it. And so that's one area where, and Kishimoto, to his credit, acknowledged it. He's gotten better. The way that he wrote Kushina in the Minato one shot, that's a step up from what you got in Naruto with a lot of the females in terms of dialogue. And from Samurai 8, he's gotten better. Like Kubo, Oda, Hiro Mashima, the lady that does My Dress Up Darling, the lady that does Demon Slayer, Takahashi, and just about everything that she's done. Takahashi's a woman, so that being like Yu Yu Hakusho, and not Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha, and Mao, and etc. They're better at doing even the Rurouni Kenshin mangaka. Like, they do a better job at handling female characters in Kenshin. That's just not a strong point. I think there's a lot more meat on the bone for female characters than what we got in Naruto. Tim Lee 830 says, congrats, man. Thank you for posting good quality videos on the regular. It's my goal to step that up and to make them even better, do less of my editing so you guys get more of those feasts that you got on the ones that the editors do. May God continue to bless you and your family greatly in the future. I appreciate you, fam, and may God bless you and yours as well. Passion Plus. That sounds like a stripper name. That sounds like a stripper name, man. Are you a stripper? I just said I was gonna stop with the dirty stuff, man. So this is what I mean. This is why I gotta script shit. Because I will go off the cuff and say some random stuff. What's your thought on professional wrestling explain type channel, even a collab effort on something like that? Congrats and thank you to your team for all y'all do. All y'all's labor are definitely appreciated, not unnoticed. You know, one of the editors I got on hold right now, Redis, which he's got a really good channel. Check him out. And he's edited with Anime Balls Deep as well. He's kind of been on me like, hey, you know a lot about wrestling. Why don't you do a wrestling channel? And for a while, me and my guy Six Pass, we talked about it. And, you know, I was like, man, you know, I would want to do some documentary style videos and some top 10 style videos, but I also want to do like a once a week, you know, podcast where we just talk about what happened on Raw and SmackDown and a PLE, and like I watch GCW, so something that happens on GCW or something that happens with NXT. I'm not as big on AEW as I used to be. It's really a time thing because I got the 3 anime channels and I also have a private channel that I'm experimenting on. It's very niche, and so what I've been doing is I've been trying to see what works on that one, and then I'll delete that channel and then I'll start another brand channel and then just take the experiments and I take the screenshots and I compare and contrast. So it's a time issue and it's also a budget issue because I don't want to spend my entire budget on editing. You know, like right now, I probably spend on all 3 channels, not the chapter reviews on Anime Explain, but just like the evergreen videos and so I'd be like the explain videos and video essays, and on the Everything One Piece explain video, the Devil Fruit videos, and then the videos you guys see here on YouTube that have editors and the ones that go up on Patreon. I probably spend about, so I'm adding this post-recording. I'm post-recording this in December. So just on long form videos, no shorts, just on long form videos that have had editors on the 3 channels that have worked on videos, which not every video that is uploaded has an editor on it, but just on the long form videos, I have spent $36,000 on editing just on long form videos. When you add in shorts, that's probably closer to about $4,000 in shorts. And you should be seeing some of the shorts published now that I've been banking up as of this week. So this is December 17th when I'm recording. And that's not counting getting custom art drawn for the thumbnails. I've probably spent another, I don't know, maybe $6,000 or $7,000. I don't have my business tracking expenses thing. I'm just kind of spitballing, doing the math in my head. That sounds about right for what I spent for the custom art. I have an artist that is on payroll. So I invest a lot of money back into the channel. Just check, so that's editing on 127 videos across 3 channels. And again, that's just videos. That's not counting the shorts that I'll get done, not the clips. Well, I'll clip stuff from older videos and repurpose that to drive traffic to older videos, but just like the standalone shorts that have been getting published this week. That's 365 videos because I'm daily on Naruto Explained, so you have 127, but there's probably about 30 something that are on the other 2 anime channels. It might be closer to 40 now that I'm thinking about it, but I try not to spend over a certain amount. And I said to say adding even more for like another channel that would just be too much. Like my accountant's already kind of get on my ass a little bit because she's saying like, hey, don't spend over a certain amount between editing, artwork, phone, internet, security, and etc. And, you know, this year I just decided to kind of go for a little more. And I have an idea of what price range I need to be in for certain types of videos now so that I don't lose money on the videos. I broke even on a lot of them. But out of like 365, 375 videos, some days I double upload just here on Naruto Explain, you know, you probably have about 85 to 90 out of that 127 that were edited by editors. It was my goal to kind of have that at 150, but it just didn't work out this year. And, you know, because of what I'm seeing, we're going to reallocate some resources next year because I'm going to follow my partner manager's strategy to really just dump a lot of money and resources into doing a lot of shorts. It's not necessarily something I want to do, but we have goals that we're trying to hit and I'm going to do it. You know, I hate doing short form content, but it's almost 50% of all traffic on YouTube now. You either adapt or you die. Cause like on this year, like I'm on pace for about 55 million views this year. I think last I checked, I was just over 50 million, all-time high for watch time. But my partner manager was like, dude, like if you would embrace doing more shorts and embrace doing live streams, which I've been hesitant to live streaming, you know, like the challenge I got from my partner manager was, you know, you should be aiming for 150 million views next year. You should be doing triple. So, you know, we're just gonna embrace it. I'd be a fool not to listen to somebody that has grown 4 different channels to 1 million subscribers. So, you know, I'm gonna do it. I hate doing that type of content. I do not want to live stream because I know I'll put my foot in my mouth. But I say that to say this, you know, adding another channel to talk about wrestling is something I would love to do, but I just don't have the money to do it. I don't have the money to do it right now. Not based on where everything is. And, you know, that's why I like doing the Q&As and etc., you know, because other creators are not this transparent with you. You know, I like being transparent because you never know who you're going to help if you're being honest. But I've been on this for a minute. So, you know, before we get out of here, because if I didn't get to you in this video, I'm going to obviously continue this in a future Q&A. Because again, there's like 2 hours of just audio just from the YouTube section. Pro tip for anybody that is doing the content creation stuff, do not necessarily care about what you're getting view-wise when a video first uploads. Because, and I'll put some examples here on the screen so you can see it. And these are from another channel that I'm not going to share with you guys that I run. It's a finance channel that I've been building in private where it's just me doing all the editing on it. But I mean, like I have videos that started out and they didn't do shit. And then 300, 400 days later, I look up and I'm like, holy shit, where'd these views come from? Because it might not seem like much, but every 48 hours, those extra 150 views on a video, they add up. And these two you're seeing here are from the Naruto Explain channel. Their videos, when they first uploaded, you wouldn't have thought were gonna be shit, and then they end up growing. And it adds up over the span when you have a very deep catalog. Like just in Naruto content, as in no Boruto, there are 1,000 Naruto videos on this channel. If you just looked at my front end views, you would not think that this was a channel that was getting between 5 and 7 million views a month. The best advice I got from somebody was to treat your YouTube channel like it's a Netflix library. Who cares what a video does on the front end? Make sure you have a deep library of playlists and video series and etc. that people can just binge watch. And I'm saying that because I know that there are content creators who watch my channel. I talk to some of them behind the scenes privately and offer advice or hook them up with editors, artists, graphic designers, or thumbnails and etc. And it breaks my heart and it makes me very pissed off when I see some of them and they don't realize that they're doing a good job, because they're going, how come they're not getting 100,000 views per video? And I'm like, dude, like 0.77% of all videos uploaded on YouTube hit 100,000 views. 90% of videos uploaded don't even hit 1,000 views. Don't be afraid to celebrate the wins that you get. Who cares if you're not getting vanity metrics? Who gives a fuck about vanity metrics? The only thing you should be caring about is, are you seeing any growth? That's all that matters. Who cares about being sexy? What, so you can brag? And even if you're not a content creator, whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether that's in your profession, say you're a banker, or you're in coding, or you're a plumber, or you're in banking, you're teaching, whatever. If you have something tangible to measure yourself by, don't be afraid to celebrate your victories. Don't be afraid. If you're pursuing your higher education, don't be afraid of getting the grease under your fingernails, as my grandma used to say. Don't be afraid to put the work in. Who cares if you're not where you want to be at this moment in time? I'm not where I want to be at this moment in time, whether it be my fight with my addiction, or my personal life, or even on the financial part, or my family life. But it's something I work at every single day. Wherever it is you want to be, that journey, those ups and downs, etc., that is the beauty of the human experience. That is what makes life so special. And I hate so much that because of how social media has done things, we can't appreciate where we are and what we have. It really pisses me off that we have this mindset that we do. And so with this probably being one of the last Q&As that we do for this year, that is something that I hope, if that's something that you're struggling with, I hope in 2026, you just appreciate more of where you are. Think back to where you were 5 years ago. For some of you, think back to where you were 10 years ago. Ask yourself, are you better than you were then? If the answer is yes, appreciate how far you come. If the answer is no, look at where you want to be and ask yourself, what can I do to get there? And along the way, just cherish every step that you've taken. Progress is progress. I'm going to end the Q&A here because I've totally gotten off track. That was just on my spirit to say this. So I'm hoping that this helps somebody out. I'm really hoping that helps somebody. I don't know who need to hear that, but I hope that it helped. It was just on my spirit to say it, man. True purpose and meaning comes from God. That's the main thing to remember. I don't mean to get religious on anybody, but that's the main thing to remember, fam. So in the next Q&A, we'll be picking up where we left off. I got off on a tangent again. That was just on my spirit to say that. Somehow we went from like finance and etc. to where we ended here. Don't know how in the hell it happened, but it happened.